Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is there any shortcut representation for initializing an array list with elements in Java? The answer is yes. In Java, we have a shortcut representation for initializing the array list with elements. But before going there, what is the normal way of initializing this array list without using shortcut and all? For that, we have to use a predefined method known as add method, using which we can add as many number of elements as we want to this particular array list. So I'm going to demonstrate both the things. What is the normal way without using the shortcut way by using the add method, how to initialize this array list with elements, and later I'll show you what is the shortcut representation. This is a shortcut representation, guys. Whatever I'm highlighting here is a shortcut representation. Everything I'm going to show you practically, guys. Let's look into this shortcut representation where we are creating an object for the array list. And in the constructor of this array list, we are passing this part. We are using arrays.asList and some elements. Here, arrays is a predefined class in Java, and it has a lot of predefined methods. One of such kind of predefined method is asList predefined method. AsList is one of the static predefined methods of the arrays class. That's why you are able to call this method directly with the help of class name, arrays.asList. To this asList, I'm passing all the elements that I want to initialize this array list with. Okay. But what's happening in this constructor? Array list, and this is the constructor, and we are passing this arrays.asList 9571, whatever the elements, and this result of this asList method of the arrays will return a list. Okay, that is an argument for this array list constructor. And once that list of elements will go as an argument for this array list will automatically get initialized with this list of elements. Okay, we don't have to write multiple lines to initialize, this array list with all these different elements, separate lines like 9, 5, 7, 1, we don't have to write. Okay, this is shortcut representation, guys. Whatever I'm showing you is a shortcut representation. To understand more the answer for this particular question, let me practically demonstrate. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE. And in the Eclipse IDE, I'm going to create any class, some random class. Let's say class E, I'll say, with main method I'll create. Inside the main method, I'm going to create the array list first. Okay, I'll show you the normal way of initializing the array list with elements. First, I'll create an object for the array list, guys. Okay, I'll first create an object for the array list. So I'll simply say array list, a list is equal to new array list. Like this, I'll create an object for the array list class. Hover the mouse on this array list and import it from java.util package. And after that, you'll get a warning messages here. Why? Because when you're creating an object for the array list, you have to specify what type of objects you want to store into this array list. For that, you have to provide less than symbol and greater than symbol. Okay, this kind of symbols you have to specify beside the array list so that warning messages will go off first. And inside this less than greater than symbols, we have to specify which type of objects you want to store into this array list. For example, if I want to store integer, so integer wrapper class name I have to provide. We should not be provide int primitive data type here because collections framework predefined classes will not accept primitive data type values. They'll only accept the objects, guys. Okay. So that's why instead of int primitive data type, I have to provide integer if you want to store integer type of objects into this or integer elements into this array list. And other side, after the new keyword also we have less than greater than symbol. Either you can keep it empty or you can also type the same integer here. It's up to you. This is optional though, but this is compulsory. And now this constructor is empty. The normal way of initializing this array list with the elements, this constructor is empty, guys. So if I want to add some elements to this array list in the normal representation, constructor will be empty. And using the object reference, I am going to call a method known as add method. Okay. And here I need to pass the object. Here 9 is an integer object. And like that, I can, pass many number of objects. 9, 5 is the second object I'm passing. Then a list dot add of 7. I'm passing a list dot add of 8. I'm passing. Okay, like that 4 elements I'm passing. 4 elements I have 4 objects or object elements I'm passing or adding or initializing this array list with. This is a normal way of initializing the array list. If I print it out, a list. If I print out this array list and run this code, you see all these 4 objects that got initialized to the array list will get printed here 9, 5, 7, 8. Okay, like that they will be initialized and they will be printed. Now, what if I don't want to go with the normal way of initializing this array list, which requires more lines of code, right? I would like to reduce this 11 to 14 lines. I would like to remove. I don't want to write these extra lines. For that to happen, what I will do is inside this constructor, I have to write a predefined class known as arrays class dot as list. I have to call a predefined static method of the arrays class known as list. And in this as list, you pass all the values that you want to. Okay, 9578, right? All these four elements or object elements. Okay, 9578. And this is not required anymore. That's it, guys. This is a shortcut representation of initializing the array list with multiple elements. Okay, 9578. So this arrays.asList will return you a list of elements. You see, it will return you a list. List is being passed as an argument while calling this array list constructor. And because of which internally what's happening, array list is getting initialized with all these elements. That's how the things are working. Run as Java application. You will get the same output, guys, with a shortcut representation of initializing the array list with elements. So with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye.